Hi, I'm Dave Epstein. Welcome to this edition of Growing Wisdom. I've got my buddy here, the old man, Poco, and a good rat terrier. If you like a breed of dog that's just a really good dog, check out the rat terrier. They're good dogs. But today I want to talk to you about plants that can harm our friends here. So here's the story. Last night I wake up 11 o'clock at night. I've been in bed for a couple of hours, and if you have a dog, you know that sound, that and he's just really about to throw up. And normally Poco's crated all night, which is how I, kind of keep the dogs in line. But for some reason last night I let him come upstairs and just kind of sleep in the chair, and so he threw up all over the carpet. Now you're thinking, okay, why am I watching this video? So, I've had dogs for a long time, and of course you always want to check with your vet as to what's going on, and I don't recommend making your own diagnosis. But it was 11 o'clock at night, he was throwing up, and he seemed okay except for throwing up, and he kept throwing up for about an hour or so. And I actually examined the throw up, and you might think that's disgusting, but it's important if your dog gets sick to really look in there, see if they've thrown up anything. And what I saw was one of these leaves. It's an oleander plant, and I had no idea that this is one of the most toxic plants to dogs. As a matter of fact, 30 leaves of this can kill a horse. One leaf can kill a dog. Now, we lucked out because he had eaten a leaf, what I imagine was one of the drier leaves that had fallen on the ground from last year. Here in the Northeast, the oleander is actually a house plant or a plant you'd have outside during the summer, but in other climates, this is a plant that's growing, and it's really toxic. The milk inside the plant can be toxic to humans. It can really cause a rash. This can make people sick. So why do I bring this up? Well, I had no idea, and there's a whole list of plants that are actually toxic to dogs. You may not know this, but rhododendron, foxglove, philodendron, there's many, many plants that are toxic. Some are more toxic than others. This happens to be one of the most toxic plants, and as I said, one leaf could kill a dog if he had chewed it and ingested it. Also, the flowers are poisonous, and the seeds are poisonous as well. So there's two things I recommend. If your dog does ingest a plant, call your vet and call poison control. Poison control is going to know whether or not the particular plant that was eaten is very toxic or mildly toxic. There are plants that are just going to make your dog sick. He's going to throw up or she's going to throw up, and that's all you need to do. But other plants could kill your animal. There's a big difference between a plant that makes your dog throw up and one that causes irrevocable harm. So let's scroll some plants for you, and we'll scroll some of these by and just think to yourself, do I have these in the house? Do I have them outside? Many dogs will never eat plants. I have a ton of these in the garden, and the dogs have not been bothered by them. It's really about knowing your pet. Is your pet one of those pets that's going to get into the plants? And also, if you get a puppy, puppies are much more likely to chew at things. So some of these very harmful plants, you really want to be careful with smaller dogs because it also takes less of a plant to really cause them problems. So the plants you see scrolling by aren't necessarily going to cause death, but they can cause problems. They are poisonous. Poisonous doesn't mean it's going to kill your dog. It just means, as I said, that they may have stomach problems. One of the best things you can do is educate yourself. Talk to your vet, call poison control, read, understand what you have in your garden, know the behavior of your dog, and again, I wouldn't keep any oleander in the house for them to chew on. For Growing Wisdom, I'm Dave Epstein.